Hello, everyone, and welcome to the weekly energy update for the week of October 8th, 2023. I'm Renee Spears, a spirit guide channeler and spiritual mentor, and I'm coming to you from a beautiful fall morning in Bozeman, Montana. So every Sunday, I share the energy for the week ahead, and I also infuse the show with some positive vibes, so you get a little positive energy boost just for listening. Okay, here we go. As if we hadn't had enough change already this year, get ready for another life-changing week. Actually, the rest of the month is very powerful because we are in eclipse season. And this week on Saturday morning, we have a new moon solar eclipse in Libra. This is an epic ring of fire annular solar eclipse. And during an annular solar eclipse, the moon is farther away from Earth than during a total eclipse, making the moon appear smaller, which produces a ring of fire around the moon where the sun is visible. And it lasts about 2.5 hours, and it peaks around 9:20 a.m. on the west coast of the United States. You'll be able to see the total ring of fire eclipse in part of the western U.S. and Central America, and in other places in the States, we'll be able to see the partial eclipse. I think we get to see about a 70% eclipse here in Montana. So not only will this be spectacular to see, but eclipses also shift our consciousness and bring change. The total blockout of the sun acts as a big reset button. It's like we've been turned off and turned back on again. Solar eclipses happen under a new moon, so you can think of them as supercharged new moons. And new moons are the beginning point of the lunar cycle and the beginning point of a new chapter of our lives. On new moons, we draw energy in, and we get an opportunity to pause, reflect, and reconnect with ourselves. And since solar eclipses reveal what we've been avoiding or neglecting and need to address in order to move forward in our lives, we need some time to actually pause and reflect and process all this info. We can think of eclipses as portals to higher states of consciousness. They help us take quantum leaps forward. They fast track our soul contract and get us moving toward our destiny. And for this reason, eclipses bring fated events, and they put us wherever we need to be. And because eclipses are highly unpredictable, we can't really prepare for what's to come. There will undoubtedly be twists and turns that we didn't see coming. And since these twists and turns are fated, we can trust that we're being steered in the direction the universe knows is best. So to understand an eclipse more, we look at the sign it's in. And this one is happening in Libra, so we can expect some themes around balance. Libra is represented by the scales and regulates the flow of giving and receiving in our lives. If we've been giving too much or not giving enough, the balance can be reset. Just the same, if we've been receiving too much or not receiving enough, the balance can be reset. Whatever happens under this eclipse brings us back to a center point where we feel more in harmony. It's like our lives are getting a big chiropractic adjustment. There are a lot of sudden shifts and things cracking and adjusting, and then afterward, we feel so much more in alignment. Libra also rules over relationship. This solar eclipse is going to expose all of the shortcomings and the hidden resentments in your closest partnerships, and also highlight relationships we're ready to let go or shift. And it's the second eclipse in the Aries-Libra eclipse cycle that we'll be working with over the next 2 years. In this new cycle, all of the Libra eclipses will occur near the south node of the moon. And this point represents shedding and release, particularly around relationships. And I'm talking about all types of relationships: neighbors, coworkers, friends, lovers. We're releasing unhealthy relationship habits like people-pleasing and codependency, and also noticing where our relationships are out of balance. The release of this relationship gunk requires that we step into our power and assertiveness and to figure out what we want. Often when we have relationship shakeups, it's because we're not getting our needs met, but we may not even know what our needs are. Our relationships function better when we own our wants and needs, which starts with figuring out what they are. The universe has this great way of aligning us with what we truly want when we know what it is and then we dare to ask for it. So this Aries Libra eclipse cycle is new, and it's still planting seeds for our future. We may not be able to wrap our heads around exactly the journey this eclipse cycle will take us on, and it's harder to see the bigger picture right now. But there is a bigger picture forming. New ideas are bubbling up, and new chapters are starting. So know that whatever comes up during this eclipse is not the whole story. This is just the beginning of something new. Now, we know new moons are usually the best time to set intentions, but when there's also a solar eclipse, I recommend waiting about 48 hours after the eclipse before setting those intentions, because eclipses shake things up and they bring new awareness, and we need time to receive and process this info first. So with these strong energies, we can set some very, very powerful intentions. What we put out into the universe will be magnified and strong. However, as the eclipse energies are so powerful, there's actually more magic to be found in surrender. Since the eclipse is planting seeds for us, we can surrender and trust that whatever comes our way will be exactly what we need. Now remember, all these fated changes aren't just happening on the actual day of the eclipse. Will be an eclipse energy for the next month. And even though all the growth, the self-discovery, and the unexpected changes are aligning us with our highest good, it's a lot. And we're in this energy for weeks. So easy does it. Rest up, lay low, surrender, and allow the eclipses to work their magic. We won't be able to see the whole picture of what's happening for a while. And because we're human, we want to know what's going to happen. And this can be very stressful. But this is our opportunity to trust that everything actually does work out for our highest good. Now, getting clarity about where you are in your soul journey from your spirit guides can really help ease any anxiety about the unknown you may be feeling. I'd love to help you with that, and you can make an appointment with me at Abundology.com. Also, I will be releasing a solar eclipse new moon in Libra spiritual practice, say that 10 times fast, this week, which will include a deeper dive into the astrology of this eclipse, a card reading, channeled messages, and a guided meditation about surrender and allowing. It'll be pay what you can, and I'll post it on my YouTube channel, which is also called the Abundology podcast. So as always, thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, and passing this podcast on to a friend that may find value in it. It is a lovely, lovely day here. It'll be about 75 degrees today, and the boys and I are headed to the park, to Yellowstone for the day, with a stop at Follow Your Nose Barbecue, so it'll be a great day. Have a wonderful week, everyone, and I will talk to you again next week.